As a bad credit mortgage advisor, I get asked a load of questions every single day. So on today's video, I'm going to be going through the 5 that I get asked the most. So let's jump right in. Now, 2 questions that I won't be covering today. The first one is, can I get a mortgage with bad credit? Well, we have a whole YouTube channel centered around this, so I would hope that's obvious by now. And the second is, how much deposit do I need with a bad credit mortgage? We have done a video on this before, which you can watch by clicking on the link in the top corner of your screen. So with that being said, here's question number 1. What counts as bad credit when applying for a mortgage? It is a great question, and the thing about the term bad credit is it is open for interpretation, so you will find that most mortgage lenders will have a different take on this. However, you will find that most lenders will class the following things as bad credit: missed and late payments, defaults, county court judgments, debt management plans, IVAs, and bankruptcies. And you will find that things such as having lots of unsecured credit, for example, lots of debt on credit cards, or perhaps just not having a lot of credit at all, will not be classed as bad credit by lenders, but it could have a negative impact on your credit score. But remember, every single lender will treat this differently, so there really is no black and white answer here. So, on to question 2. If I apply with a partner that has good credit, will this help? So, this is an interesting one, and it can help in a couple of different situations. One of those ways that it can help is if there are 2 people going on the application, you potentially have multiple incomes, and it can allow you to borrow more money. And another way it can help is that certain lenders have things known as scorecards, and if you apply with that particular lender, your application will be assigned a certain score. If you apply with somebody who has good credit, as well as someone who has bad credit, that person who has good credit, it will potentially increase the score on the way that their application is scored. However, in the vast majority of cases, if bad credit is the main thing holding you back, then it's not going to help. And that is because the mortgage lender will want all applicants going on the mortgage application to fit their dedicated lending criteria. What do I mean by this? Well, if a particular mortgage lender says that they do not accept any missed payments within the last 12 months, and there are 2 applicants going on the mortgage, and one of these people hasn't had any missed payments in the last 12 months, but the other one has, then that mortgage application will be declined. So the main thing to remember here is if you have multiple people going on a mortgage application, the mortgage lender will typically look at the person with the worst credit, and they're going to base the application on that. Question number 3, if I take out a bad credit mortgage, will I be able to switch to a better deal later on? This one is not as simple as a yes or no answer. For example, if you take out a bad credit mortgage and you continue to meet all of your mortgage payments on time, and generally speaking your overall credit improves, there is a very good chance that at some point you're going to be able to remortgage and go to a traditional high street lender, such as Barclays, NatWest, or Halifax. However, does that mean that you will be offered a better interest rate and a better deal? Well, not necessarily. Let's say, for example, you take out your bad credit mortgage and you're paying it for a year and all of your payments have been made on time. And then interest rates go up dramatically across the board. It is not unimaginable that the interest rates that you will be looking at when you come to remortgage will actually be higher with a high street bank than the rate that you took out on a bad credit mortgage today. So to summarize, there is a good chance that you will be able to swap to a high street lender, providing that you do meet all your payments on time and your credit continues to improve, but there are no guarantees on the interest rates and the deals that you will be offered at the time. Question number 4, how much will I be able to borrow? Most lenders will offer around 4.5 times of your income, although that can be higher in certain situations. And what you will find, if there are multiple applicants going on the mortgage, they will add up all of the income together. Now, one thing you also need to remember as well is when they're deciding, and this is the mortgage lender, when they're deciding the amount of money that they are going to lend you, they will also look at your monthly expenditure and that will ultimately come off the amount that you can borrow. So to give you a very specific example, if you have two people going on a mortgage application and the first person earns $30,000 a year and the second person earns $30,000 a year, that gives you a total income of £60,000. You would then take that £60,000, you would multiply it by 4.5, and that would give you £270,000. So in the example I've just given you, you would be able to borrow £270,000. There are certain lenders who on occasions can actually lend to up to 6 times of your income. However, these are few and far between, and you will find they are normally just for people doing certain occupations or for people earning over a certain amount of money. Question number 5, I've started a new job. How long do I need to be working for? You're probably getting bored of me saying this now, but it really does depend on the lender and it can vary quite a lot. However, what you might be surprised to know is that there are some lenders out there who can accept you with just a contract of employment. Yep, you heard me right. Even if you haven't started the job yet, with a contract of employment, you can potentially be accepted. You will find that most lenders will probably want to see that you've passed your probation period, which is typically around 3 months for most people. However, some lenders still might want to see more than that, and of course, some lenders will want to see less. I think the main thing that you just need to remember is that even if you haven't started your job yet, or even if you have less than 3 months pay slips, it's not going to rule you out straight away. So there you have it, my most commonly asked questions as a bad credit mortgage advisor. If there was any questions that you were really hoping I was going to answer today, feel free to pop those in the comments below, or you can pop us an email. The description will also be below as well, and I will do my best to answer those in a future video. So thanks for watching. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and you turn on the notifications for more tips on bad credit and all things bad credit mortgage related, and we will see you in the next video.